What's up, guys? It's your boy Darskin, and today I want to talk about something that a lot of people have actually been asking me over the course of, Genshin being out. A lot of people have been like, hey, Darskin, do you think Genshin's going to get PvP in the future? Do you think Genshin's going to have, PvP or player versus player, whatever you want to call it, blah, 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 those type of activities in the future? Because a lot of people are like, oh, well, this is a PvE only game. Once you grind everything, everything's gone. Once you do Abyss and you get done with Abyss, that's it, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of people have been asking me, hey, what do you think, do you think we'll get PvP in the future? Well, I feel like any game, especially a game like this, right? This is an RPG game, but at the end of the day, it is a gacha game, and it's like having characters with nothing to compete. Like, there's basically no competition right now, really, right? Obviously, I want to grind and get as high level as possible, and so do so many other people. But it boils down to that's not really competition. I'm not really competing against anyone. So it's like this type of game where you have characters, you want to build your characters, you want to test your characters out against other people, I feel like any game like that eventually gets to that point, right? If you look at there's a couple of games I want to mention, right? Naruto Blazing. Naruto Blazing was a PvE game. You could co-op, but you didn't go against each other's. That eventually brought PvP out. Now, in the beginning, it was really good. Then it got bad. I'm not here to talk about that. Epic 7. Epic 7 had Arena where you went against people's AI, but then they eventually released RTA, which is real-time arena. And now you actually go against other people. And it's just like, I feel like all of these games that, you get characters you like, you build characters that you like, and then you eventually, I feel like it eventually gets to that point where they implement PvP. So as far as Genshin, a lot of people have asked me this, and I think that in the future we will get PvP. Now, I do have a couple of things I want to talk about. Number one, they're going to have to nerf a lot of things for PvP. Now, I don't necessarily mean they have to nerf the PvE aspect. They can make the PvP side of it completely different. But things like this, right? Let's just go ahead and talk about this, right? This combo has got to go. You cannot, being able to freeze people in PvP is going to be the single most busted thing. You can literally freeze them and just kill them for free. So, it's just like, if they were to implement PvP, how would that affect the game? Because I'm telling you right now, if PvP becomes a thing, people are literally going to just do that. They're going to hit people with water and freeze them. Or they're going to hit them with ice and freeze them. No matter what happens, that's going to be a thing in the game. So the question is, how would they do that? You know what I'm saying? How would they change that to make that better as far as the game, would work? Now, a lot of people have asked me my opinion on what they could do to make PvP work. PvP would be skill-based, I feel like, to a certain degree, until you get into, the very broken aspects of the game. Like Beto. Beto is a very skill-oriented character as far as her counter. Obviously, you can just hold the counter down and wait till someone hits you and then let go for a perfect counter, but that's not skillful at all. Literally, if you hold it, the person could just wait, they could reposition, they could get behind you. Like, if say I'm using Venti or whatever, right, and I'm going against a Beto and they just hold their counter. I do this, right, and I wait, I hit them with one of these or something. Those are a lot of skill aspects that go into the game. Now, this is all hypothetical, of course, but, adding the perfect counter into the equation where you basically time it like that is going to add a lot of skill into it of knowing your enemy's attacks, etc. I feel like if they do tweak some of this stuff, they could definitely change it. Mainly with the freeze, right? One of the freeze things is you can freeze an enemy, but limit it to after you freeze that enemy, you can, or this is like PvP, actual players. After you freeze a player or freeze that player, you can no longer freeze that player for, let's give it a cooldown of 20 seconds or something. So basically, if you freeze someone, you can't freeze them again until 20 seconds later. I think that would be something that's pretty fair to balance it out, because it's just like, you know, if you could freeze all the time, that would be broken. Also, another thing, talking about Venti, because, you know, since we're going to talk about Venti, something that I feel like they would put on Venti is they would make his ult cooldown a lot longer. If you go look at Venti's ult cooldown is 15 seconds. Now, the thing about his ult being 15 seconds is, when he pops ult, he has his ult by the time the 15 seconds is over. So, a way to basically balance that would make his ult cooldown be, you know, 40 seconds, something like that. That way, you know, he can't spam ult and then run away for 15 seconds and then spam ult. Because that's the thing, the ult's going to last for what, like 10 seconds? So he only has to wait like 5 seconds, you know? And that is just not going to be a very good thing as far as, you know, PvP in the game. So I mean, like, if they did stuff like that, I feel like PvP could definitely work. There's a lot of people that think that PvP would kill the game or PvP would not be good for the game. This is the difference between this game and a lot of other games when it comes to PvP, right? In other games, the primary focus is PvP, right? So that's why, like, there's no PvE aspect. If you look at every game, or like a lot of games that have it, like Grand Cross, for example. Grand Cross, amazing game, love the game. Grand Cross main gameplay aspect is PvP, right? Like, you know, you do a new story chapter every like 2 or 3 months, right? You summon characters, you build your characters up. What do you do with them? You're not taking them to demon raids. You're not taking them to, you know, whatever. It's literally PvP. So you're building characters for PvP. Well, with Genshin Impact, you're not, like, PvP is not in the game. The base game doesn't have PvP. So you're going to be doing a lot of different PvE stuff. So when PvP comes into the game, we're still going to have to do PvE stuff. So if you don't want to play PvP, you don't have to. Granted, there's probably going to be rewards with PvP, so if you don't grind it, you won't get those rewards, but ultimately, that is your choice. So, I feel like where Genshin Impact would work is where a lot of other games would fail, because their main aspect is PvP. You know, Grand Cross had PvP on release. Even Epic 7 had Arena on release. Naruto Blazing didn't have PvP on release, but, you know, after 2 or 3 months of Blazing, well, not 2 or 3 months, I'd say about 6+ months of Blazing, it got to the point where there was no PvE content that you really had to grind, you know? 6+ months, you know, to a year in, you had thousands of books, thousands of material, thousands of ramen. You didn't need to grind anything, right? So it's like, as far as with Genshin, you are constantly having to grind. And the more levels, the more adventure rank you get, the slower your grind is going to get. See, so max adventure rank right now is, well, we are assuming is AR 60. And the reason why we assume it's AR 60, if you have been to the Adventurers Guild, you would know that the rewards stop at AR 60. Now, we don't know if that's just where they put it. You know, they're probably going to, you know, I assume they're going to add more levels later. But as far as right now, all we know is the last rank is AR 60, right? Now, it's going to take people a long time to get to 60. But it's like, even then, they can still just add 5 more levels, 10 more levels, and it's going to be that much more that we have to grind. So, like, the longevity of this game, I feel like is very much there. I feel like the PvP, if it were to come, would be a really cool thing to do. If they tweak it right, you know, don't allow people to freeze, you know, until 20 seconds later after they've done it. You know, nerf Venti's, you know, ult cooldown. And then those are just a couple of the characters. But there's multiple characters that go into it that if they tweak it a little bit, it would make the game work. It'd be really fun, and I'd be excited for it. So, that's pretty much it talking about PvP. The reason why I thought of PvP coming to the game is, now keep in mind, this is all speculation. There's even people that have already said this is fake news, so understand that. But it's like, you know, we got the leaks on the nerfs, and it's like, well, if they are nerfing a game that's PvE, what if it's not going to be PvE only? You know, so that's where I got the, you know, what if Genshin gets PvP, you know, idea from. So anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, Comment down below. Oh, guys, also make sure you guys follow me on Twitch. DSGaming GC, link is in the description. I stream there every single day. Greatly appreciated if you guys came out. I'm loving the support. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you. Appreciate the guys on Twitch, YouTube, all of that stuff, man. Love you guys. And yeah, with that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.